So while it's a miserable wet day outdoors, I'm going to hang out in the shed and make me some custom Volkswagen door panels. You're probably wondering why I'm doing that when I already appear to have some, so I'll explain. It was about 2001 I decided the original poo brown vinyl interior and back-braking Volkswagen front seats weren't to my liking, and it was time for an interior overhaul. So I picked up these Toyota Celica front seats and redid all the interior to match them. In the back I used the upholstery from the Celica rear seat to recover mine, which you can't really see in this light. Redid the headliner grey, dash in grey, new grey carpet, and new door panels. I paid $50 for the seats, and there was probably another $100 in materials, so $150 for a interior makeover. It's held up pretty well for the last 13 years, all except for the door panels. Unfortunately, whatever kind of car I used the upholstery from is not really built for Australian conditions. What has happened is all the foam has just disintegrated in the heat and crappy humid conditions we get. And what's happened is it's just come loose, and the MC Hammer pants look is not in this month. You can see it really bad on that other side. So basically what I've got to do is strip the door panels down and redo them with new foam. So I'm essentially starting from scratch again. The only thing I don't have to do is make new door cards up. So to do all that, I've gone and got myself a roll of foam. Oh yeah, that was the other problem. I reused all the original clips when I did it the first time, and pretty much all of them have broken. So flappy door panels are no fun, and the little boots that are meant to be in there like that, many of them are missing too. So a packet of new boots here, a packet of new door panel clips, got a bunch of thumbtacks, you'll see what they're for later, and some Gorilla Snot contact glue. So the carpet kick panel along the bottom and the red stripe, those are actually bits of sheet metal, which you can just see here where the glue is starting to peel. They're sheet metal with sticky pins holding them on. The sticky pins are actually used in air conditioning ductwork to hold the insulation on. That was just to break up a completely plain door panel if there was nothing else on there. So they're usually twist off with a bit of patience. So there's everything removed from it, the kick panel, stripe and armrest, and the rest of the clips that weren't broken. Now looking at this, I should by rights replace the door card. I'm a bit of a lazy ass and don't put the plastic vapour barrier back up, and it does have a bit of water damage there, but it's pretty tough. This is MDF, not the usual fibreboard the original ones were made of, but they have been hacked a few times. This is from my power window install, and I used to have speaker pods on it, but I'll see what it's like once I get the upholstery off. I've just got to peel up. The glue's not holding that well anymore, so what a mess. You can see here the old foam has just turned to jelly. It's absolutely shagged. But that is why I have new stuff. Now I'll just see what this door card is going to clean up like once I get the remnants of that old foam off, as to whether I cut some new ones or not. I might also get the other side out and see what it's like. The actual structure's fine. It's really only a bit of mould on that side. There's no delaminating or soft spots, anything like that, so may be good to still use, but this stuff is dirt cheap. It's just a pain in the arse to cut it all. Now the easiest way to make up new door cards is to use the originals as a template, but unfortunately if you don't have originals, that does make it hard. You can make them up measuring off the door, but what is really difficult about that is the holes for the trim clips actually do not line up with the holes in the doors. They're actually 15mm further in because of the way those stupid Volkswagen clips work. Now I was really struggling to remember what thickness the MDF I used for the door cards was, but in a stroke of luck the actual sticker is still on this one, and we can see it is 3mm thick. Obviously 1200 by 600 sheets were pretty close to an ideal size, as it's, I think they're 570 high and about 870 wide, and those sheets from Bunnings in Australia were only about $5 each. Anyway, so the first thing to making new ones would be get the width and the height right. Then we need to radius the corners, so the easiest way to do that is just find something like this, which is a pretty close match to the radius of the door. Mark those corners out. Then just lots of measure 3 times, cut once for drilling of the holes, especially for the window winder, door handle and armrests. Now because I'm a lazy arse and can't face cutting a new panel out, and that one's still fairly usable, I'm just going to reuse it. So I've got the foam laid out and it's actually being very well behaved, so I'm not having to tack it down. Normally they would try and lift the corners up like that is a bit and get waves through it, but because that is staying nice and flat, I'm not going to bother tacking it. Now this particular glue recommends for porous surfaces like foam to only coat one side. Normally with contact glue like this you would coat both sides, so I'll just do the door card and see how it goes anyway. So that's stuck in place now, so all I've got to do is go around the edge with the box cutter and trim the excess off, and do all the little cutouts for the handles and armrests. So there's the foam glued to the door card and all trimmed to size, all ready to go. And I've got the velour all stretched out. This is the job of the thumbtacks, to keep it all spread out and stretched with no wrinkles. So all I've got to do now is apply the glue to that, wait for it to cure, and then drop the door card onto it. And normally it would be so much easier than this, because you'll be starting from scratch and have a lot of extra material around the edges, not that tiny little bit that's already been trimmed to size. I've just dropped the door card and foam into place and worked it as well as I can from the back side, and I've popped all the thumbtacks out to take the stretch off the material. So I'm just about to flip it over so I can really put some pressure on that front side and make sure the glue really attaches. Look at that, not a wrinkle in sight. Gotta love it. Just lots of dirt. You can really see how dirty it is. What I have to do is run glue along here now and glue this strip over, which is fun because there's not much of it there. So I've missed filming a couple of steps, mainly because my hands were covered in glue, but also with the heavy shower of rain we've just had, you wouldn't have heard a thing in this tin shed. But there really wasn't much to it. It was just running glue along the outside and then just folding the tab, the outer piece of material, up over and gluing it all in place. Obviously there needs to be relief cuts on the corner. The same with this piece here where the door handle goes. Now I'm just putting all these mongrel clips in place. It's an absolute nightmare of a job. And there's guaranteed a few drops of blood shed anyway. If I ever make these panels from scratch again, I'm definitely going to use these plastic clips which modern cars have. Nice and simple, but you've got to put a keyhole shaped hole in the panel for them. The only way I've worked out of getting these in place is to drop them down in the hole like that and then sort of force them into place with a screwdriver, and sure as shit you will put either the screwdriver or the clip through your finger at some point. Almost all back together. I've given the velour a clean up with upholstery cleaner. Got most of that grime off. And a bit of useless trivia before I put it back together. Volkswagen actually stamped the date into the back of these armrests. 22nd of February 1971. How about that? I'm trying something a little bit different with the passenger side one. I've actually fitted all the clips before I start gluing the foam and upholstery on. The clips are just a lot easier to fit when the foam's not in the way. So I'll let you know whether that was a good idea or not once I get the rest of it back together. And there's the completed job. Putting the clips on before the upholstery worked out in one respect. It was a lot easier to do it without the upholstery in the way, but it then made a bit of extra work going around and tucking the edge of the upholstery under the clips, so I don't know, probably not worth it in the long run. Other side turned out just as well. Put them all back in, no more flappy door panels. Got all those new clips in doing their job well. And no more puffy MC Hammer pants look. So yeah, job done.